Hey, what's up, guys? So, apparently, a few days ago, there was some rumors going around that this weekend, February 13th, there's going to be an announcement of some sort regarding to Final Fantasy VII Remake. I don't know if this is going to mean extra content announcements, if this is going to mean a PS5 or a PC or Xbox announcement for Final Fantasy VII Remake, but it sounds like there could be some information, and this kind of sparks a lot of interest as to what that information is going to be. But also there's been some rumors going around saying that any kind of upgrade for Final Fantasy VII Remake will not only be a resolution upgrade, but it'll add more story content to the game. I don't know if you are excited, but anytime any information comes out about Final Fantasy VII or Final Fantasy VII Remake, I'm already all in. I got my wheels turning. I'm thinking about what is going to be announced. Final Fantasy VII Remake was a fantastic game, and if you guys want to check out my top 5 games of 2020 to see if it made the cut, that video is in the link below. This rumored reveal announcement came from co-director of Final Fantasy VII Remake, Motomu Toriyama, stating that he had an announcement to make at the Final Fantasy VII Remake Orchestra concert in Japan on February 13th. And I took some of the article from VideoGamesChronicle.com that states, Motomu Toriyama shared the news via the Square Enix Music Twitter account on Monday, which was translated by Final Fantasy fan Atai Kimochi. Quote, "In addition to the performance, we have a special program planned as well," Toriyama said. "There will be a few things about Final Fantasy VII Remake that will be revealed only during this concert. I will also take part in this program, so please tune in." End quote. Now you can imagine that just a small announcement like this could spark all kinds of theories and all kinds of predictions as to what could happen. And that's really what's happening in this video. I'm going to make my own predictions as to what maybe this announcement could entail, whether it be a PS5, PC, Xbox reveal, or it could get into if there's going to be the higher resolution or a 60 frames per second mode as well. And maybe specifically what some of that content could be. Remember guys, I don't have real actual knowledge as to what they're working on or what's to come. So please take my predictions with a grain of salt because they're just personal predictions that I think are possibilities, and let's just have fun with it. Remember guys, I stream every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from 8 p.m. to midnight Eastern Standard Time at twitch.tv/theroguevanian. I hope to see you guys in the chat. We've been having a great time and hope to see you guys there. Also, check out my Twitter. It's twitter.com/roguevanian. And remember to click on the invite link in my description below for my Discord server. There really are quite a few possibilities as to what I could predict as being a reveal for this event. I have a couple different categories of things where if it isn't revealed this weekend, I have a category where it's very likely that this will come to fruition, as opposed to things I would really love to see, but chances of it maybe kind of sort of aren't as likely. Now, even if the predictions that I'm about to say don't necessarily happen this weekend, I do believe that there are some predictions that I have that will happen eventually. The one thing that I truly think will be happening is that they will have a PS5 and a PC version of Final Fantasy VII Remake. I just feel like that would make total sense to push the game to its limits. Also, it's already on PS4, so giving it a PS5 upgrade with, let's say, a 4K resolution or a mode that plays in 60 frames per second, it would just make total sense because the hardware can handle something like that. And also, just porting it over to PC totally makes sense just because Final Fantasy 15 has a PC edition, as well as the other Final Fantasy games that are on PC currently. And also the fact that the exclusivity agreement that is with Sony for Final Fantasy VII Remake is up around April. It's very believable that there will be Final Fantasy VII Remake on other platforms. I'm hoping it comes to all consoles because it's a game that everyone should play, and it would be really nice to get it in as many hands as possible. I think as far as predictions go and what Motomu Toriyama might announce is maybe he will announce a PS5 version of the game. I think the PC reveal might get pushed, but I have a feeling that the PS5 version of the game is going to get announced before any other version. So this weekend, I could see it being very likely that he would announce a PS5 version of the game. I also want to add that I think that the PS5 version of Final Fantasy VII Remake will probably get launched a little bit earlier than the PC or Xbox versions if they're announced. I just think that Sony's going to get a slight leg up to get people to play it on PS5. So that could very well be an announcement saying, hey, the PS5 version of Final Fantasy VII Remake is going to hit on April 1st, as opposed to maybe, let's say, a PC version hitting in May or an Xbox version hitting in May. And like I said, these are all speculation. I have no clue about any of these announcements, but I see it making sense because Sony kind of already has Final Fantasy VII Remake under its belt. I think you will see a PS5 version of the game and you'll be able to play it earlier than the other versions. So now let's kind of get into some fun stuff that I think could possibly happen, but I don't think it will be announced this weekend, and I don't know if this is even going to happen at all. But a couple of the things I was thinking about were content related, and one of them is the fact that Red 13 isn't playable towards the end of the game. And after reading some fan pages and some theories on how maybe Red 13 could have possibly been a playable character that was scrapped towards the end of development just because of time constraints, makes a lot of sense. And I think that would totally be something that they could add on to an upgraded PS5 version or a PC version or Xbox version for next gen. I think that would be awesome added content, and it would be something probably that the development team could get done and achieve within this amount of time, since the game released in about a year. So having Red 13 as a playable character for the next gen version of Final Fantasy VII Remake would just be amazing. And I understand it could possibly be far-fetched, but it would also make so much sense to have him playable, because Red 13 kind of comes in towards the end of this section as a guest character. But I think as an added bonus, making Red 13 playable, kind of like in the original Final Fantasy VII, would just be amazing, and I think it's something that can be achieved. One other thing that would be amazing with some of these rumors is that they said that there will be extra story content to Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I think it would just be really cool to be able to play right after Final Fantasy VII Remake left off, but you're playing in the flashback scene that's told while your characters are at comm, because this would just add to the story and kind of lead you into the next game. And I think it would be really cool because it's all just a flashback scene. It'll be Cloud on his first mission as a soldier first class alongside of Sephiroth himself, and you'll actually get to play as Sephiroth, which would be really awesome. And it would just lead up and add those extra story moments that I feel like would just be a great addition to Final Fantasy VII Remake, because it's not getting into the meat and bones of what probably would be part 2. But then again, it's one of those things where maybe the first mission in Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 would be that flashback. It's just a set piece that would probably be a really good first set piece for the sequel. Anyway, I'm going big here, and to be honest, I would love to see that extra story content start at the end of when Final Fantasy VII Remake ended. So I guess a lot of these aren't total predictions, they're more just hopes and dreams of what I would love to see happen with the PS5 or next gen version of Final Fantasy VII Remake. But one thing that I do think is very, very possible, and a true prediction that I truly believe could be a possibility, is that Motomo Toriyama could reveal a PS5 version of Final Fantasy VII Remake, and maybe possibly reveal PC and Xbox versions as well, making it a multi-platform game. The other things are, like I said, they're hopes and dreams, and I hope that those are true. And one thing that I'm holding on to more than all those is having a playable Red 13 in Final Fantasy VII Remake in the upgraded version. It makes sense. I would love to see it. Hopefully they do it, but I guess time will tell. Well, that just about covers it. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And also remember to check out my Twitch. I stream every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from 8 p.m. to midnight Eastern Standard Time at twitch.tv/theroguevanian. And also check out my Twitter, twitter.com/roguevanian. My Discord invite link is in the section below, along with all my other social media outlets, so check those out. If you like this video, hit like, subscribe, or hit the bell for notifications for all future video releases. Well, listen, I hope you all have a great day or night wherever you're at, and I'll catch you guys later. What would I like? I don't have money. I don't think I only have $64.05. Maybe a nice ambrosia. Oh man, I want that bionic arm.